Hey Taurus, how are you? I hope everyone is doing well. I'm so glad to be back. I do have a new setup, so please be patient with the lighting, the microphone. I'm still working on things, but I wanted to get out the May 2025 readings to all my loyal subscribers. Thank you. I greatly appreciate you. Let's get on with your reading. Um, So we're going to do past, present, future, and an overall energy card for your reading. I will clarify all the cards. So let's get started. Spirit, give me guidance for Taurus for the month of May 2025. Month of May 2025, please and thank you. I don't know why I think I said Scorpio. If I did, I apologize. Or maybe some of you have Scorpio in your chart or dealing with a Scorpio. So, all right, let's get started. I don't know why I had that feeling. All right, so in your past position, we have the Ten of Wands, the Knight of Cups, and the Queen of Pentacles. What do we have for your current energy? What is the current energy of Taurus Spirit? Please and thank you. What is the current energy of Taurus? All right, we have the King of Cups, the Ten of Pentacles, wow, and the Ace of Wands. I love that energy for you, Taurus. Very, very nice and very balanced. You have cups, pentacles, and wands. That good mix of fire, earth, and water. What do we have for Taurus for the future? Spirit, please give me guidance for Taurus for the future. Please and thank you. We have Judgment. We have the Moon. And we have the Page of Wands. The overall energy for the reading is the Chariot. Definitely about balance, as I was speaking over here about balance, direction, and decisions. All right, so before we clarify, let's briefly talk about these. So, and I'm not going to harp a lot on the past. I'm going to spend more time on the present and the future. So, with the Ten of Wands, the Knight of Cups, and the Queen of Pentacles, we, so excuse me, we see that once again, you have wands, you have cups, and you have pentacles, the same as this row. I am getting the feeling that there's a period in the past you were dealing with some emotional growth, perhaps even a new relationship, but it's all about navigation and how, in navigating, I feel emotions and practicality, right? Because the pentacles speak of being practical, the cups speak of our emotions, and the wands do with the Ten of Wands, it's just, although that's fire, it's about that determination, right? Having the fire within oneself to become better, the motivation, the drive to move forward and grow. So let's start clarifying. Why is the Ten of Wands here for Taurus here? Why is the Ten of Wands here for Taurus? Why is the Ten of Wands here for Taurus? Ten of Wands. One more shuffle. Okay, that's way too much. Also, and I don't know why I was getting the image of the High Priestess. I have, of all the readings I've done so far, I have not seen that come out. So I'm interested to see if it does come out in your reading. So we shall see. All right, why is the Ten of Wands here? One more shuffle. Okay, you have the Four of Swords. Felt like there was two cards there. Just want to make sure. All right, why is the Knight of Cups here? Why is the Knight of Cups here? Why is the Knight of Cups here? Knight of Cups. The World. Yeah, I was just about to say, knights are typically going through some type of transformation, transition. And with the world card, it's like, okay, yes, you're completing a cycle and transitioning into some new phase here, which it's a beautiful phase. So let's see. Oh, let's see. Why is the Queen of Pentacles here for Taurus? Why is the Queen of Pentacles here for Taurus? Why is the Queen of Pentacles here for Taurus? Last shuffle. All right, we have the Eight of Cups. Yeah. All right. So perhaps there was some type of burnout, um, working too hard, needing to take a break at some point. And again, this could be love, this could be your job, this could be family. You take it as it resonates because there's just too many scenarios that it could be, as this is a collective reading and it could touch you and um, resonate with you, and it could just you pertain it any way you feel how it pertains to you. And I can't even articulate words, and I'm trying to think of what other reading might have been Scorpios where I just couldn't find the words. So maybe there's been a time where you just found yourself not being able to articulate or express yourself in some way, shape, or form. Excuse me. Um, I do feel that, you know, there has been some type of much needed break, of resting, working hard for things to try to build something or work on some type of foundation here. I just feel by ending or putting an end to something, whatever this is for you, it brought you, even if it was an end of some type of cycle, right? It did bring you some type of emotional fulfillment or feeling like you grew or transformed in some type of powerful way or some type of achieving some type of achievement. Perhaps you completed something and now you're able to rest, right? Um, it again, it's you take it as it resonates for you in your situation. But I can't ignore the fact for these two cards here, for the Queen of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups, that perhaps you're at a crossroads in a relationship. Okay, could that be a family relationship? Of course, it could be a love relationship. You know, having to break away to end something that's been repetitive for some of you. For others of you, I'm trying to find the words again, so just please be patient. It's about balancing emotions, right? Not acting too impulsively. The rabbit is here in the card, and rabbits are fast, right? They're hasty, they're fast, they're not like a turtle or a snail, right? However, it's like she's been patient, she's being patient, and reminding herself not to act hasty on something. And I feel like it's regarding your emotions. Perhaps, you know, you may overreact emotionally. We all do it, right? Um, and about, you know, balancing and nurturing yourself is very important here, and balancing and nurturing your emotions. And I feel like whatever this is for you, you're starting to see things and learning to nurture yourself, right? That's very important. All right, so let's move forward and focus more on the present and the future here. So, in the current energy, you have the King of Cups, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Ace of Wands, which is all like great cards. You know, the King of Cups speaks of, I am so sorry, um, the balance. So no matter how turbulent things are around you, because in this picture, you can clearly see that the waters are very choppy around him, yet he maintains his balance with a cup of wine or water, right? Um, and his feet are balanced and staying calm, right? He does not look frantic. He's sitting there with all the chaos and turbulence around him, he is keeping his composure. Um, with the Ten of Pentacles, it speaks of resources, right? Not just time, it speaks of abundance, it speaks of, it can be financial, it can be happiness, it's your legacy. It's about everything coming together for you. To get to the Ten of Pentacles, there's always sacrifice. There's things that, that had to be built to get that. Um, it also could be regarding, family and tradition here. And with the Ace of Wands, it speaks of new beginnings, out with the old, in with the new. A lot of the water signs got the Ace of Wands. And to me, it's like you see the old leaves fall and the new leaves coming out, these branches coming out as a new beginning and getting excited. And although, to me in the background, the great cards, there may be unknown, right? Which can cause fear. Instead of fear, have excitement. Get excited for some type of new beginning here. So let's see what's going on and let's dig in a little bit more. Why is the King of Cups here for Taurus spirit? Why is the King of Cups here for Taurus? I feel like there's been some I don't know, like emotions are coming up pretty high for is the feeling I'm getting. King of Cups, you have the Strength card. Why is the Ten of Pentacles here, Spirit? Why is the Ten of Pentacles here? It's taken a lot of strength to get balance, to get to a good mental, emotional place. I feel like a lot of people are going through that and have been going through that these past few years. It's all mental, physical, emotional that people have had to work on, understandably, right? Ten of Pentacles. Why is the Ten of Pentacles here? Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles. Okay. Six of Swords. Why is the Ace of Wands here? Ace of Wands, Ace of Wands, Ace of Wands, Ace of Wands, Ace of Wands. One more shuffle. Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands. Wow. Yeah, it's like, when you get double cards and the same card on the card, wow, right? There is some massive new beginning taking place, whether you can see it or not. And I feel like a lot of you really don't see it, or it's hard for you to believe that something is happening here. So let's go back up to the King of Cups and the Strength card. I spoke over here in your past about determination, right? And you've definitely had to have strength and courage through something that has happened, and also learning to have control over your emotions, over your instincts, right? It's like taming your inner demons, taming your inner thoughts, and the ability to just face a challenge as it comes your way with some type of grace and dignity. Right. And I talked about impulsiveness over here with the rabbit and learning to just keep your calm and be patient. Right. And I feel like you're mastering that at the moment. And you're becoming like emotionally mature. The King of Cups is emotionally mature. And also listening to your intuition is very important, but also knowing to be in touch with those emotions, right? Which is why you're emotionally maturing. And don't take that in a negative way. I don't mean that in a condescending way. It's a very positive thing. And it's also a very hard thing to do. And people don't get enough credit for it. But you're learning to manage things in an effective way. And I mean, this is pulling hard from this into this. It's like running over into this. It's like a flow is what I'm feeling. There's a powerful impact here with your emotional strength and the power that you have and the resilience you build through whatever it is you've been through. You are moving towards some type of financial stability here, financial prosperity. And that's huge. And that takes a lot. A lot of people don't ever get to that place in their life. And perhaps you are breaking a cycle as well, is what I'm hearing from your family. Perhaps this isn't something your family's been able to achieve, but you're breaking that tradition and becoming financially stable, and prosperous in some way, shape, or form. And it doesn't just, you don't need to have prosperity and just financial wise, right? It could be abundance of happiness and feeling good within oneself. That's an abundance, right? To be happy and feel good within. Um, but I do feel like you're moving towards this solid foundation for yourself and embarking on some type of new journey and leaving behind as well. Like I said, um, I talked about family tradition and you doing things differently, perhaps leaving behind old patterns to embrace something new and new opportunities, especially with the double ace of wands. That's huge. And it's time for you to get excited again and take perhaps some type of bold action towards something, planting those seeds. But I feel like something has already been planted and you're starting to see it grow. And it's again, I keep hearing opportunity, growth, prosperity. Again, out with the old, out with the old way of doing things and starting anew. And I do feel that from whatever you're clearing from this past is bringing in this new, refreshed beginning here with a lot of opportunity and growth, whatever that is for you. It could be a love relationship, it could be a career, it could just be your financial status. So let's see what's going on with your future here, because with the judgment card, it's about rebirth. Okay, it's about leaving that old life behind and starting new, making the decision to heed to the call that spirit's been trying to guide you through. You have a lot of major arcana here, Taurus, and it's a very, very beautiful reading. Um, a lot of, I do feel that you've been through a lot. Some of you have maybe even had some type of breakdown or really suffered with your health and getting back to a good place. Some of you could be, healing and finally getting back financially in a good direction or starting to head that way. So just stay positive. And I know that's so hard sometimes, but just trust and have faith. Why is the judgment card here, Spirit? Why is the judgment card here? Why is the judgment card here? The Three of Cups. Yeah, definitely a celebration in something here. Why is the moon here? I think you're getting rid of the illusions that you've believed in the past as well, or what you were taught as a child and brought up to believe. You're starting to see like there's something that's come to light that is really more of you see it as an illusion now versus as the truth, right? Coming to realize that was really never what it seemed to be. Why is the moon here? Why is the moon here? The Seven of Swords. I mean, did you feel like you had to tiptoe around something? Um, for some of you, I think one of the things, and this might be for one of two of you, is realizing that I'm no longer going forward. I'm no longer going to, I'm trying to find the words to say this, um, get in an illusion state where I don't look at something for truly what it is, right? Um, yes, this card can mean lying, cheating, stealing, right? And somebody could have been, or this is in your future position, but I am getting the sense that you're no longer going to allow anything or anyone to lie to you or not look at something for truly what it is. You're no longer going to see it as an illusion. You're going to see everything and every person for who they truly are, and like no more excuses or, oh, they're really not, or tiptoeing around seeing who someone really is, like seeing their true colors. Why is the Page of Wands here? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go into that long depth, but that definitely does pertain to somebody. And for some of you, that could have been something in the past that happened, and you learned the lesson of, I'm no longer gonna, you know, look at something for what I'm gonna look for. Blech. I cannot speak in your reading. I am so sorry. And maybe some of you are finding it hard to articulate or find the words to explain how it is you feel. But I'm gonna look at everything with a clear mind and not make things like dreamy when they're really not good. Page of Wands. Why is the Page of Wands here? Why is the Page of Wands here? The Hierophant. All right. So, in your future position, sorry to go off on that rant, but somebody needs to hear that. So, I'm so sorry. There is an emotional release here. Like you are fully like you you're this is like a step up, like you're here and then you take a step up and then you another step up. Again, you're building that foundation, but there's some type of emotional release here and celebrating that, and it's something major in your future. It gives you a clearer perception, right? I talked about this here, getting a clearer perception on whatever this is and coming together, something finally coming together for you. With the moon and the seven of swords, you will heed that caution, right? From whatever happened in the past, from past lessons that you've learned. Um, and sometimes, it's like it's not being taking, I guess I said illusions, but like delusions, right? Um, and they're not creating fear for yourself or feeling fear. It's going to be very important for you to, I'm trying to find the words again. Listen to your intuition. The moon is very symbolic of intuition. And maybe even some of you have psychic abilities, right? But also, like, you're going to start seeing insight into perhaps some type of future thing that's going to happen for you. And again, I'm getting so many energies off of these two cards. It's very overwhelming and I cannot articulate. And that's very uncommon for me. So I just feel like there's a lot of energy going on here. I don't want to spend too much more time on that because I feel like I'm going in way too many directions. And again, perhaps that's somehow you feel the same way. Um, but just know too, I do feel like I have to say this, just be aware of people and open-minded that there are some people that may have hidden motives and and have an intent of causing some type of deceit. But I feel like listen to your intuition, and based on your past experience with this, you will be able to pick up on it and your intuition will be like that. Okay. Um, and I think that is something that has come out of this pain or whatever this was over here that you've come out of. This is what you've learned, and that you've learned to trust your intuition. With the Page of Wands and the Hierophant, there's something here with merging like tradition and innovation, excitement. Um, the I'm trying to, the Page of Wands is very free spirited, right? Um, I'll I'll figure this out as I go. Whereas the Hierophant is like a heavy-handed, kind of like to the point, very defined, has a plan. So I think it's a good mixture of, needing to honor some type of established um normalcy and values. And I feel like, as you're coming through here, that's what that's speaking of as well. We talked about foundation and traditions here. I think you're going to be creating new traditions for yourself, new things for yourself here. Um, New norms, new values, which I really love. It takes a lot to do that. So let's see why the chariot is here and the overall energy. And I feel like you're finally moving in a right direction in a balanced way, right? You're being driven. You are driving yourself. You are finding the motivation. You are finding the momentum here to move forward, feel better, be better, and all of that. So you have the Eight of Wands, which is fast luck. And at the bottom again, oops, sorry, you have the Chariot. So again, fast moving energy here. However, staying strong, right? Rapid progress, decisive action, decisive. I talked about the Hierophant being defined and has specific things, and I feel like the word that's coming to me with the Chariot here and the Eight of Wands is the decisiveness, because all of these wands are in unison, right? And going in the same direction and uniform. And I just feel, like that decisiveness and learning to focus on, again, the approach of overcoming obstacles, learning from this past, learning from whatever hurts and pains, someone, something, whatever happened, overcoming all of that. And I do feel that your desires and dreams, like you're manifesting, like they're coming to fruition. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. There you go. There's your confirmation. If you enjoyed this reading, please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Keep standing in your power, and I'll see you soon. Bye.